I promised you that I would show you my medical missionary kit. Now, this is my emergency kit. I travel with it all the time. Like I said, my tent making, like Paul had a tent making, he worked with his hands to support himself and those who were with him. My tent making is construction and sometimes mechanics, as the Lord blesses. And so I take this with me, even in my work. And I trust it in any kind of emergency to use just what's in here. So let me introduce you to probably 5 of the most important things that your medical missionary kit should have. Very simple. You have your garlic. Garlic is an amazing herb. Especially fresh. You can take like a glass jar like this with a lid. My wife ordered this from the internet. By the way, this is all her idea. So you can put fresh garlic or powdered garlic in here. You can season your food with it, or you can stop a heart attack. I kid you not. If I saw someone here having a heart attack, I would either put garlic, crush the garlic and put it under their tongue, or put cayenne under their tongue. That's how powerful it is to create circulation. It's also an antiseptic. It kills viruses and germs and bacteria. So that's garlic. Like I said, you can season your food with it as well. Now, next we have charcoal. And I think most of our community is very familiar with charcoal. Now, charcoal is just an amazing thing. What it does, it doesn't absorb, but it adsorbs. Adsorb, meaning it's like a magnet. For example, if you're worried about eating non-organic food with all those pesticides, charcoal can actually bind to itself 29 of the 30 most deadliest chemicals or, pesticides and so on, and flush it out of the body without harming you. It is just an amazing thing. You could also take it for indigestion and so on and so forth. It's just an amazing thing. You can make poultices with it. And one of the ways you can make poultices is simply get some oats, wet it to make a paste, and add some charcoal to it, make a poultice, put it on, put a gauze, put some tape, let it stay there. What can you put it on? In infections, sting bites, or any of those things, charcoal can work. You can also use flour, just your regular flour. You can use that. You can also use flaxseed, crushed flaxseed or powdered flaxseed can also be used as a binder to make a poultice. Okay? So that's that there. Another one is turmeric. This is really amazing. For any infections like boils, sting bites, any of those things, turmeric is absolutely great. For inflammations, it's superb. It can actually take down a cancerous inflammation. I kid you not. Turmeric is that powerful. And it's one of those herbs where you can actually use it to season your food. You know the difference between spices and herbs? Just take a little bit of whatever it is, put it on your tongue. If it numbs your tongue or if it burns your tongue, it's to be used as medicine, not dietarily. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the rule of thumb. If it affects you that much on your tongue, then imagine what it does in the fine coating of the stomach inside. So you want to use something that's delicate. It can have the flavor, of course, but if it's too powerful to numb your tongue or burn your tongue, then you don't want to use it dietarily. You'll use it medicinally. So this is one of the things you can use dietarily. Ginger. I think this is one I have used most than anything. You know why? Because people have allergies these days to an unbelievable state. Almost everybody has some type of allergy. Whether you had a food allergy, whether it's sinus, whatever it is, you take some ginger, fresh or powdered or tincture, doesn't matter. I've seen it completely stop an attack within just like minutes sometimes. I kid you not. Ginger is very powerful. You know what it does? It blocks your histamine level, and it also opens up your circulation. So it's a really, really wonderful. Oh, it's also great for indigestion. Okay? Last but not least, this is probably the most versatile one. This is cayenne. Now, when you use cayenne, there's medicinal cayenne, and there's ones that are not that hot. But I would say use every one of them medicinally instead of dietarily. But they have what they measure its heat by international units. This one happens to be, I think, 130,000 international units, which means very hot. Very hot. Okay? So what can you do with this? Cuts. You can use this on cuts. Also, if someone is having a heart attack or a stroke, you can use this to completely stop and thin the blood and create better circulation. Okay? It's so extremely versatile. Now, you know, in construction sites, work sites, if someone gets injured, like, you know, they cut themselves with a saw or a blade or something really pretty deep. Let's say you're using a saw and you cut yourself and it's pretty profuse. Open up the wound, dump this in there. I know it's going to burn, but it's going to clot the blood so quickly enough to stop the bleeding so that you can get advanced help. Amen? So cayenne is an amazing thing. So these are the things that you want to have in your medical kit especially. So what are they? Garlic, turmeric, charcoal, ginger, cayenne, and just a simple binder so you can make poultices. Just to name a few. Now I have more stuff in here, so I'll share with you that on the next nights. But this is what you need simply just to treat the most simple things that you'll encounter out there. So natural remedies God has created for us. Now, let me just say something about creation and how God created things. In Genesis 1:30, it says that when God had created everything, he looked and he said everything that he created was what? Good. Now, they're poison berries, right? God didn't create those. And they will not be in heaven. Those came after sin through Satan work. And you can look, I believe it's in Luke, where also in Matthew, where the sower went to go sow the seed, and the next day, tares came up. They came and asked the master, they said, hey, you sowed good seeds, where did the tares come from? And he said, an enemy has done this. So Satan sowed the seeds of thorns and thistles and so on and so forth after sin. So there are certain things, like, for example, marijuana. You know, my Rastafarian friends would like to tell me it's natural, but it's poisonous. Do you get what I'm saying? So those things which by experience we know are to be poisonous, we don't want to use as, even though they're natural, because you can take poison berries, you can take tobacco, and they can hurt you, right? But we want to use things that are not harmful, okay? And those that are tested and tried. So when you're using this, there is some trial and error, but don't be afraid to test out things and to try, because these simple natural agencies, especially those that are found in your fridge, are not going to harm you, okay? But just be careful as you're using this and prayerfully go forward and learn how to use these simple agencies of nature to heal disease. That is a requirement that God has for every one of us who seek to follow him for these last days. Amen? Amen. God bless us as we listen tonight.